What's up, guys? I'm doing this video. It's going to be a quick one, but I got a bunch of emails and instant messages today from some of the people who follow me on YouTube, some of the people who have bought ramps from me, telling me that there's a guy who unveiled a product at the GIE Expo. I guess this is an expo specifically for outdoor equipment. I'm not 100% familiar with it because I'm not a lawn care or landscape guy. I do property maintenance for mortgage companies. So, inadvertently I cut grass as a result, but I'm not a landscape guy. I don't do occupied properties and deal with customers. I only do vacant properties. I deal with banks. So that's it. I do have landscape equipment because of that, but that's it. But either way, lawn care, landscaping, it does kind of mesh a little bit with what I do. So I tend to pay attention to some of the lawn care YouTube guys. Anyway, long story short, I got a bunch of emails maybe a week ago telling me that a guy named Wyatt Farmer unveiled the ramp rack. His website is theramprack.com. I guess November 8th, I think, is when he's dropping or being able to ship, I should say, or sell. I don't know because I'm not sure. I think he said something about being able to ship for 300 miles, which, so there's that. But anyway, the bottom line is that he built a system. It is similar to mine, but it's not the same. He has a provisional patent, and people were concerned that I wouldn't be able to build ramps anymore. That's not the case. First off, he has a provisional patent. And just to give you some background, my family holds like 10 patents, I think. A lot of them are expired now. Patents last usually for 25 years. So some of them are expired. But most of it was in the manufacturing process. And my grandfather invented something that had nothing to do with manufacturing. I'm not going to get into it, but the bottom line is that I'm not ignorant to the process of patents. I did argue with a few people before I decided to release my videos a year or 2 years ago showing the ramp. It was my opinion that it wasn't worth patenting because it would have been a difficult thing to enforce. First off, you get a U.S. patent, but you don't get an international patent. You can't really stop China or Europe from doing what you're doing. And I know we like to think that America is the only country on earth. We're obviously not. We're a small market compared to the world. And, we're not the only people that cut grass. So it was my opinion that I would just release it. And I would continue to innovate it and change it and try to grow it. If someone can duplicate what I do for the price, yeah, I say go for it. I don't think they're going to be able to, but go for it. Wyatt Farmer is the name of the guy for the ramp rack. Our systems are different. His is way bigger. It solves a different problem than mine. Mine was a personal problem that I had, which was that I covered like 100-mile surround from my area of operation, and I had maybe towards the end of 2015, maybe 2016, maybe I only had like 8 or 10 cuts, recuts that were between 60 and 80 miles from my house. And if you've watched my videos, I have a trailer that's big and elaborate and heavy, and it didn't make sense to use that for just routine recuts. So I built a ramp, solved the problem that I needed. The problem was I needed it to cost less than gas, I needed it to be easier to maneuver, I needed it to be able to hold the mower that I already use on a regular basis, and I needed it to be able to be removable so that I could still hook my trailer up when I needed it. So I accomplished all those goals on the first ramp that I built. And then I posted a video of my trailer, and then I got some hits on it, so I decided to post a video of the ramp that I built. After I posted a video of the ramp, a bunch of people started inquiring, for purchase. So I build a bunch. I don't even know how many, to be honest with you. And every time I build one, I change something, I make it different, I try to improve on it. And essentially it's, like free research and development. I get to build a ramp, I get to see the problems that arise from it. Typically I use it for about a week before I ship it out, just to make sure that there's not any soft spots maybe that I didn't notice. But recently I've been trying to make it adjustable, so I've accomplished that. But again, Wyatt Farmer and my ramp system are not the same. His is bigger, it costs more, and it's not really removable. You can take it off, that is true, but I wouldn't consider it removable in a traditional sense. For me personally, I needed to be able to take it off and install my trailer, use my trailer whenever I needed. And, I'm a one-man operation, so, I don't have 6 or 8 guys, I don't have a skid loader, and I don't have a gantry crane. Obviously, I could build those things, but, for me, it just made more sense to build something lighter. After I started shipping these things, I've shipped to Canada, California, Ohio, Texas, and Maryland. I got a pretty good idea of what the cost of shipping is, and I got a pretty good idea on how to package it. I did have to build it in a way where that it could be, disassembled for the most part, and I've accomplished that. So, anyway, long story short, bottom line is I can still build ramps. I did comment on some replies to people who mentioned me in some of the YouTube videos. And Wyatt did send me a message and ask me, how it installs, told me he liked my idea. I told him I liked his, and I explained to him how it installs. And that was pretty much that. I haven't heard from him. I'm assuming, the purpose of the question he asked me was to make sure that ours wasn't too similar. But I think it's pretty clear that it's not. So I'm going to keep building ramps. If you guys are concerned about that, which I don't know why you would be. You can still contact me and I'll still build ramps. I have a new design that I'm kind of hoping I'll have done in the next month or so, and maybe 2 months, because I'm trying to get AutoCAD files for a couple more trucks. I have them for Ford, I have them for Chevy, I need them for Dodge, and I need them for Toyota and Nissan. So once I get those, I'll be able to be certain that the new design that I'm going to release will fit on every truck, because that's really kind of what I'm trying to do. What I try to do is I'm trying to help people who are not huge corporations, not huge landscape companies, not somebody that cuts 175 cuts a week. Though if you're interested and you want to buy one of my ramps, I'd be more than happy to sell you one. But these are more geared towards people who have either weekend routes or full city routes where they don't need a trailer, and either they don't want to store it or they don't have the space for it. That's basically the purpose of my ramps. And from what I've gathered from the information that I've been given, at least from the people that I've sold, that's kind of where my niche is. So I wouldn't worry too much about the conflict. There is no conflict. He hasn't expressed any issues with me. I haven't expressed any issues with him. Again, my ramp's been out for a few years. It's documented on YouTube, so there's that. It's kind of like a poor man's copyright. But even more so than that, he has a provisional patent, and until he gets a full patent, I believe he has a year from the point that he released it to file for, or to follow through and get a full patent. And most people don't usually do that, mainly because, especially for something like this, it's got to kind of be like $1 million idea. And I know there was one of the guys that did a video that said it was $1 million idea. I think he likes to embellish a little bit on things, but it could be. You do the math, $3,000 a piece. You don't have to sell very many to get to $1 million. But I've been selling them for long enough to make a pretty educated guess that I don't think he's going to get there. I hope he does, because I think there's more than enough money for everybody out there. I am in no way an intellectual property hoarder. I don't believe in that at all. You know, if you have software, you have a medicine, you have a technology, that's fine. This is not a technology. This is not something that I came up with or Wyatt came up with. This has been around for decades. So, you know, we can put our own little spin on it, but we did not invent it. And so, that's basically it. That's the end of the video. I just wanted to explain that I am going to still make ramps. All of the people who expressed concern, I'm not really sure that it was genuine concern. I think it was probably people trying to stoke some kind of shit between me and Wyatt. But, you know, either way, I don't have a lot of followers on YouTube, but I have enough that it would have made it difficult for me to respond to every single person that private messaged me. So I feel like this video will kind of solve the issue of that. So again, you know, mine and his systems are different. His is bigger, mine's smaller. His costs more, mine costs less. I ship everywhere. He can ship maybe to 300 miles, I think he said, around. And that's not taking anything away from him. I'm not talking shit in any way. I like his design. I think it's smart, and I think that it will work for a lot of people. Mine just targets a different person, a different group of people. So I wish him the best, and anybody who's interested in a ramp from me, I'm still putting them out. I'll have a website up in probably the next couple of months. I've been working on it for maybe 4 months now. I bought the domain name like a year and a half ago, but you know, I hadn't really been crazy about pushing it because I've been trying to increase my ability to put these ramps out, reduce the cost of the metal by negotiating, and you know, purchase equipment, plasma cutters. If everything goes well, by the end of next week or the week after, I'll have a CNC plasma cutter that'll give me the ability to cut pieces instead of welding. So, you know, that's my strategy. That's where I decided to put my resources, and you know, I'll keep doing that. So I'm hoping this kind of cleared up some things that, you know, people were concerned about. I'm not really sure people were even really concerned about it. Again, sometimes I think people just start shit for no reason. But again, contact me if you want a ramp, and I'd be more than happy to put you in contact with Wyatt if his ramp is better for you than mine. I don't have any animosity towards him at all. I'm glad he put it out, to be honest with you. You know, I got a lot of inquiries after he put his system out. So, you know, more power to him. And, you know, he made the marketing stretch before I did. He, you know, made the trek to the GIE Expo, and there's something to be said for that. He's a young guy, I think 23, 24 maybe. So I do wish him the best. I hope he does a good job, you know, and if I can help him in any way, I absolutely will do that. So that's that, guys. I'll do a video. I do have this ramp that I'm working on. I do. God damn it. Sorry. Anyway, I do have this ramp that I'm working on. I did get the mesh installed, so this will be something that'll be, you know, I'll have a finished up video on this one before I ship it out. And this is the first one that has the slots for adjustment as opposed to the individually drilled holes. I don't know how this is gonna focus, but if you look there, I basically used flat bar stock and made it adjustable. So anyway, that's that. I'm gonna upload this video and then go to bed because I have like 5 jobs. So have a good night, guys.